Good evening, ladies as well as gentlemen. Papa Boris here with some more puzzle quests. Now, don't worry, this is not another boring video of me just fighting monsters over and over again. In this video, I actually want to show you some of the features of the Citadel. There's a lot of really cool, like, meta gameplay in this game, and I want to show some of that stuff off. So, first of all, in the Citadel, you can forge items, research spells, train mounts, and improve skills. Let's show off some of these things. So, improving skills is pretty straightforward. Going from rank 0 to rank 1 costs 450 gold, and it costs an extra 50 gold beyond that. So you can see from 1 to 2 is going to cost me 500. From like 21 to 22, that costs 1500. So it gets pretty expensive. But this is actually a really important feature of the game because it allows you to turn some of your 0s into 1s, and eventually some of your 1s and 2s into 4s to hit those next thresholds where the matches give you more mana or more damage or more whatever, without having to spend your valuable level up skill points at a really bad ratio to get the skills to improve. So that's the Citadel, Church, whatever it's called, place lets you improve your skills. Now let's actually talk about learning spells. So to learn a spell, you have to capture an enemy. The way that that works is that your third time encountering an enemy, you actually have a chance to capture it rather than fight it. So like here's a skeleton, I could fight it or I could capture him. In order to capture him, you have to solve a puzzle. So the puzzle's objectives are to match all of the gems. So it's like a brain teaser sort of deal. Like, oh, let's try this and let's try that. They're often symmetric, although some of the more challenging ones do require a little bit more critical thinking. So I'm actually probably gonna fail this right now. I don't see how this is actually gonna work. Let's do this maybe. Oh god, this is bad. How is this thing gonna blow up? It's not gonna blow up. Okay, cool. So yeah. So if you fail, you can try again. Maybe the right way is, well, anyway, I'm not gonna do this right now. The point is you can try again. So yes, let's just do some moves. And again, I'm just trying to point out here, this is not a trivial puzzle by any means. Some of them are actually quite challenging. And once you run out of moves, the game is like, nope, you suck too much. So if you do successfully manage to take over an enemy, then you can actually research spells they know. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you what that works like. I, off camera, successfully captured one enemy. To learn this spell, I have to win in this mini game. So here's how it works. You need to match a certain amount of green, red, yellow, and blue mana, as well as a certain number of these scrolls in order to win. If you run out of moves, then you lose. Like if there's no more legal moves on the board, then you lose. There are some special rules. So a 4 of a kind gives you double the mana and it generates a scroll, which is important because obviously you need to get 3 of these scrolls in order to succeed. Sometimes scrolls do come in from the top though, so making 4 of a kinds isn't the only way. 5 of a kinds are very difficult, but they give you triple the mana and they generate 2 scrolls. Heroic efforts almost never happen. If, however, you manage to complete a category on the right, then the board is cleared of the matching color of gems. So basically, it's like a little bonus here. Once you do get to 67 red mana, all the red gems are removed from the board. Not permanently, though. They can still drop in from the top, but you get a little bit of an edge that way. Now, the basic strategy for this is you typically want to make your moves on the bottom, because if you make all your moves on the top, you're not as likely to get stuff falling down. Making things better. So you want to try to move on the bottom as much as possible so that you can hopefully keep on generating moves at the bottom. And once you run out of moves on the bottom, then you slowly work your way to the top. You also want to look for opportunities to make more of these scrolls with 4 of a kinds. At the moment I can't, so we'll just keep making bottom moves. These guys are pretty cool, the flaming skulls, because they can, they explode and they give you all the stuff around them. But I personally feel like it's better to try to keep the bottom nice and healthy and make moves there as much as you can. Okay, so let's do that. Skulls, by the way, don't actually do anything. They're just taking up space. Here's like an important, moment of skill. If you do this green up first, then you lose the opportunity to match these yellows. So you make the yellow move first. Then you go up with the green. Stars and gold don't do anything. Any 4 of a kind, if I could do a 3-way, but nope. Okay. So, yeah, let's go ahead and match some stars. And there's a couple different ways I could match this star. I want to try to make it, you know, as likely as possible to give me a subsequent match. This is the way to do it because it makes this blue drop down, giving me another blue match. And I got a complete blue category, so all my blue gems went away. Excellent. Any 4-of-a-kinds? Nope. Not yet. I can get some red down here, though. By the by, your mana skills are relevant. Like, whenever I match red, I get 4 mana here. If I leveled up my fire skill more, I would, you know, get 5 mana per red match. So, as a knight, you actually are a little bit of a disadvantage, because if you're one of the classes that gets either, you know, green, red, yellow, or blue mastery, then for 1 or 2 mana skills, you actually have a much better shot of succeeding at these minigames. Okay, so let's actually just blow it up here. This Flaming Skull, get some mana going. I'm gonna do these coins, because I set up a green match here. And so I gotta be careful here. I actually want to do it like this. I want to get this yellow first, and then I have to decide whether I want to do green this way or this way. If I do green this way, I'm actually going to get a 4-of-a-kind with these purple stars, which gives me one of these scrollies, so I think that's actually worth doing. And it also gives me double the mana. Of course, that was stars, so stars don't actually do me any good. Can I get a green with this? These wild cards are obviously really great. You know, I get a ton of yellow with those, but there's nothing urgent, and it'd be better if I can get a 4-of-a-kind with them, because that would give me a whole lot. Okay, my bottom's looking a little bit bad, unfortunately. So I might fail this. Some of it, of course, is luck-based, but there are some skill aspects to it, too. No 4-of-a-kinds, nope. I could almost do a 4-of-a-kind here with this thing, but not quite. Alright, let's do this. Get some of these skulls out of the way. Should I clear out this money first so I can do the red? Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so we can do red now. Here's another wild card. Still can't do a 4-of-a-kind with it. Let's get this yellow. Clear out some stars as well. I guess the wild card did get popped. Somehow I didn't notice it. I can almost do a 4-of-a-kind with this, but not quite. I can just cash it out on the greens. Darn. Is this really my best move, just cashing out the wild card on green here? I can't get 2 colors at the same time with it, unfortunately. Okay. At least it sets up a red move, which then gives me a green move. Flaming Skull might not be bad to get down here. I got another wild card. That's nice, although I think it ended up popping on blue. 2 Flaming Skulls. That's good. That's good for clearing out the board so that more stuff keeps coming down. I'm starting to run out of moves a little bit here. Okay, so if I do this, I can blow all this stuff up, but there's no rush on that. I might as well actually get the legitimate matches first. So let's go ahead and do this, and then that'll shake things up a whole lot. Didn't get anything good to come down. Oh, bummer. Okay, did I miss a 3-of-a-kind up here? Can't quite tell, but I do have a 4-of-a-kind on green, which is nice. Don't know, one of these scrolls. The scrolls, you know, you kind of need them, but at the same time, they do sort of take up space that isn't other gems, so they're sort of double-edged. They do make the game harder. Okay, here's another chance to make a scroll. Crap, I can't quite get those things to drop because of this coin in the way. Alright, I could do a 4-of-a-kind this way with the skulls right now, or I could pop the blues and then do a 4-of-a-kind like that. What's better? I guess it's better just to get the 4-of-a-kind like that right now. It's starting to get a little bad. I kind of have to finish a category to bust some of the gems out of the way, or else I am going to, I'm just going to lose. Alright, I'm almost done with yellow. Actually, something good just happened. Got this wild card. Almost done with yellow. I'm actually kind of close to being done with green as well. Should I just finish up yellow? Using a wild card on yellow here sucks, because the yellow, I just need any regular match will do. What I really need to do, I think, here is, just finish up the yellow normally. And then that gets rid of all the yellow gems. And my wild card unfortunately got destroyed against something. I'm not sure what. Alright, what do I want to do here? I think I need to actually do this right here. Yep, this is perfect. So I can do this. That takes care of my scrolls, which gets rid of all the extra ones as well. Now all I need is red and green, but I'm almost done with green. So at some point you have to switch between just making all the matches that you can and actually starting to think about what you want to go for. Here, let's do that. It sucks that scrolls keep getting generated because they actually do just sort of get in your way. Don't want to make a 4 of a kinds are actually not good. I don't want more scrolls. So let me pop the flaming skull. Oh man, this is amazing right here. So that finishes up all my red. So all I need now is green. And there it is. So I've learned a new spell. Now the thing about learning new spells is that you're still subject to the same constraints. So I have this new spell here, Enrage. Adds your red mana total to your battle skill for 8 turns, and your turn does not end I mean, it's a pretty crappy spell. I don't really want to get rid of my other spells for it. So you're not always going to just research every single spell you can. You just really want to go after the ones that you think are actually worth it. Okay, so that's researching spells. Let's talk about my favorite part of this game, which is forging items. So here's how this works. Once you make the forge, you have the option to put these runes together and to make items. So I'm actually going to go ahead and do one here. There's a base rune, a modifier rune, and a power rune that you get to choose. I'm just going to go for daggers. It's pretty straightforward. +1 to damage whenever you do 3 or more damage. The other ones add to skills, but it's kind of meh. Then there's a modifier rune, so the rune of mastery adds 2 to the base rune ability, meaning that instead of +1 to damage, it'll give me +3 to damage. And the power rune gives you some bonus effects, so right now I only have ones that just like increase something at the start of combat, plus life, plus red, plus green mana. Let's go for plus to red mana. And this is another one of those mini games. So for this, you need to get 2 anvils, and that's pretty much it. The way that things work though is a little bit different. Anvils can come in from the top, and anvils do not appear when you make a 4 of a kind. What a 4 of a kind does is it destroys an entire row or an entire column. So you can bust the anvils either by blowing up flaming skulls next to them, or by blowing up a row or a column that they are in, or by just matching them to each other. So here we've actually got a pretty nice setup with the floating skull right next to the anvils, so ooh, I just succeeded. So yeah, the item crafting is, in my opinion, both more useful because the items you make are really good, and more fun because it's just an easier minigame. But obviously, as you try to make harder items, it becomes more challenging and other things come up. So now I have this item, which is the Poignard of Fire. +3 to damage whenever I deal 3 or more damage, and +2 to red mana at the start of each combat. The bow I'm using is +1 to damage, plus an additional 1 for every 8 of your levels, so that's only 2 right now, so it's definitely not as good as the item I crafted, because it doesn't have that extra mana either. You can hang on to this, you know, eventually it'll do a lot, but I'm just going to say screw it and sell it for a bunch of gold. And now I've got my crafted dagger. So you might ask, where do you find these runes? Well, in these places here, these little outposts, you now get an option to search for runes, and there's 1 rune that can be found at each location. You have to beat an enemy in order to get the rune, and the enemies are basically harder versions of the regular enemies. This thief not only has a lot more health than a thief is supposed to have, but he's got some pretty sick items. So what this Runekeeper's Key does is it gives the enemy +5 to all their reserves whenever they get a 4 or 5 of a kind, so their mana fills up really fast. They also have the Runekeeper Tone, which increases their damage by 50% for each mana reserve that is full, meaning that if they have full mana reserves across the board, which is not that hard for them thanks to this key, they actually deal an extra like 200% damage whenever they get a match. And I'm not actually sure how, like, whether it's additive or multiplicative, but I do know that it gets to the point where it's just insane. The enemies are just doing like, you know, 25 damage per skull match. So these are really difficult fights to get the runes, and that's kind of the balance, I suppose. It's easier to capture an enemy to learn its skill, because all that requires is beating a puzzle, and then you can look up the solutions to those puzzles online if you want to. But then, of course, learning the skill from the enemy is quite challenging, as you saw. really takes a long time. You have to keep going for a while to do it. Whereas crafting the items, the minigame is a little bit easier, but actually getting the runes is tough because these enemies are not slouches. So we'll go ahead and fight this thief here. I think the knight's a pretty good class for getting runes because of his high health. He kind of stands his ground relatively well against the rune keepers with their jacked up health counts. But the disadvantage is that he doesn't have very good mana skills. And that can be a problem because a lot of these rune keepers, you know, if they have an ability that like depletes your mana, you can actually end up having to fight an entire battle with no mana, which is really bad if you can't, you know, get your mana up there because your skills at mana suck. You really are in kind of a pickle. I'm actually in kind of a pickle now. I don't want to do this green match because it sets up a skull, but I don't see any other move to make here, so I'm just going to make an illegal move, lose 5 health, pass a turn to him, so that I can get the skull. And you gotta make these, you know, tricky moves sometimes, because you really have to play well against these guys. Okay, so right now, what moves are even here? What move is there? I don't even see any moves, but there is one. If there weren't any moves, then we would have a mana drain. Wow, I doubt there's more than one move on this map, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do favor, spend some mana, let him make a move, and if a mana drain comes in, then I want to have the first turn after the mana drain. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do this. I know this way. Actually, wait, this is bad. This gives him a 4 of a kind move. So I'm going to actually do this instead. Leave him with the red mana, but not open up a 4 of a kind. Unfortunately, to dodge giving him a 4 of a kind, I had to rob myself of the opportunity. He's got stars he could do here, so I'm going to go ahead and grab some yellow mana. Okay, got a skull match. Excellent. Ah, he got a 4 of a kind up here. That's bad because it fills up his reserves. You really want to try to avoid giving them 4 of a kinds. Alright, so he snuck attacked me a bunch of times. And, okay, so now we're not that close to mana drain. Are we? Wait a minute. Hold on. If I do this green, are there any other matches? No, there's stars here. Okay, so let's get the green mana. Ah, skull match came in for him. That's just too bad. But there's still stars down here. So you really want to make sure that you're not the person who makes the final move. Strategically, it's important to have your enemy do the move that causes the mana drain, so that you get the first move on the new board, which is more likely to have some 4 of a kinds and stuff. Okay, I got lucky. Flaming Skull came in for me. I lost some gold. It's 25 gold. It's kind of a lot. I don't actually want to lose gold, but it's better, I guess, than dying. Flaming Skull came down for him, unfortunately. Alright, let's stun and divine, right, to clear out all these stars, reduce the risk of mana drain so I don't have to keep worrying about it. Unfortunately, I don't see any 4 of a kind opportunities here, so we're just going to have to match some skulls. This will give me some yellow mana as well. And the more skulls came down, that's good. Alright, I can do this yellow mana without giving him anything. I can do this red mana, but that sets him up for a skull match. Green mana and red mana are still more valuable. So if I do this, I get green and red. I don't think it sets him up with anything good. Yeah, just a red. Oh no, it did set him up with a skull match. Well, let's get double 4 of a kind there. Boom. That does not stack, so I only get 1 extra turn, not 2 extra turns. My health actually is a little bit precarious, but so is his. I do have favor, which gives you a 50% chance of healing a hit point for each time you pop a star. And of course, it counts the stars you pop with Divine Right. So I could reactivate favor. But I think getting mana is overall more valuable, so let's get some green mana over here. Ah, set him up for a 4 of a kind skulls. Ouch. That's not good. Okay, I got a 5 of a kind blue. Can't do a 4 of a kind with this thing. Let's just get some red mana up here. It seems pretty... Ah, a blue one came in, giving him a 4 of a kind. I'm butts on the cracker. Oh god, okay, so health-wise we're about equal. Let's do a move here. Let's stun and pop all these stars. Oh, I can't pop stars. I need to heal. Whoops. I should have activated favor before stunning. So I missed all the healing off of that. That is a pretty bad mistake. If I do this, it sets him up for a skull match. This red skull drops down to 3. He matches these skulls, so that's no good. Let's do this red mana here. He just passed his turn stealing some gold. Green mana's not available. Red mana I can do, but it sets him up for a skull match. Coin. If any skulls come in, there's going to be matches to be made. I'm going to pass a turn here and just cast favor, let him make the move. Alright. Is there a 4 of a kind in here? I guess there really isn't. Let's match the skulls. Ah, he got a skull match. Luckily, he actually doesn't have too many full reserves because he keeps sneak attacking and stealing. So his damage isn't as high as it could be. Okay, let's do that. You got a random extra turn, which lets you pop that wild card, and you got a 4 of a kind. That's not good. It's gonna be real close here. Ouch, see 11 damage, that is pretty significant. Alright, can I combo to get the skull to pop? Actually, I can't. That would drop 3 spaces, doesn't give me a match. Can't drop it down just 1 space. Man, this is gonna be rough. Okay, I have favor active. What I'm gonna do is stun and divine right. Try to heal up a little bit. Got a skull match here. Any 4 of a kinds? I don't see them if there are. Just got a bunch of red mana, but there's a 4 of a kind. Alright, he's got 13 health. Trample does not kill him. If I get red mana here, it does not give him a skull match. But I can also just get red mana up there, which is safer. That was almost a skull match for him, so don't miss the 4 of a kind. Now, there's 2 skull matches for him, or on the board. Unfortunately, I can't make a move with one that cancels the other, but I should be able to survive a hit. Can I do anything fancy? I still can't stun. I got a random extra turn for matching skulls. Well, that's fortunate, because now I can just kill him. Okay, so I got another rune added to the collection. I don't know what rune it is, but you can see your runes. Can you? Nope, I guess you can't. Okay, then. Oh, there you go, right there. They're in your inventory. So, what did I get here? I think I already had... Actually, that I might have not have had. I don't think anything of this stuff is that great. Yeah, I guess, yeah, whatever rune it was, it's not one that I'm that excited about. Alright, so the only thing I haven't shown in this video is mounts. So that'll be in the next video. I'll show you how mount stuff works. And till then, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Please like and or subscribe.